update. So glad to have you joining us tonight. We are here every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Central to find out all of the news, all of the latest and greatest that is going on surrounding Project Die Hard. As always, I am thrilled to be able to bring in our president and founder, Brian Gibson, to share all of the wonderful details with us. And I know we've got some great updates from this past week. So, Brian, come on in. How are you tonight?
Oh, busy, but blessed. You know the drill. How many hats? I think I'm up to like 15 or 16.
Yeah, I lost count. You weren't too many, man.
That's why I'm so grateful for all of our volunteers. The more volunteers we get, the more I can concentrate on what the mission is about. Bringing hope to my brothers and sisters. Not all the heel biting things. And it's all important. But yeah, we got some great blessings this week. I guess we're just going to dive into it, aren't we?
That'd be awesome.
Here we go, because if I don't got my slide deck, right? Look, folks, I've been talking about it, but now we're pushing it. 6.4% of this nation are veterans, but we make up 57% of all suicides in this nation. One suicide is too bad. I don't care, veteran or non-veteran. But I concentrate on my brothers and sisters. Don't take that wrong of me, but that's all I have time to concentrate on. We will help anybody else. Remember, God will never leave the mission. God saved my life. And I have turned down $2 million, losing friends because of it. Because I will not give up God in this mission. The suffering of veterans will not be used to profit. Veterans, and I know it's spelt wrong, but screw you, are not commodities. Too many for too long have thought so. If you come to Project Die Hard to make money off a veteran, God save your soul. No drugs or alcohol is allowed in the mission. What you do on your time is your time. Right? That demon, and I call it a demon, is the leading cause of veteran suicide. More veteran suicides are related to being drunk, under the influence, whatever you want to call it. So, Project Die Hard Inc., 501c3, there's our nice little number and our address. So if you want to cut the check, cut the check. 90% goes to the mission, 10% goes to admin. But you all know that. Our praise report. Last week was the first Wednesday of the month. 17 veterans got fellowship, support, and a free meal. We are still seeking corporate patronage for 2025 because the Veterans of Foreign Wars Auxiliary of Illinois again stepping up to help this mission. They have patroned the remaining of 2024. So I got to do a little browbeating. These folks understand of our mission. It's not about, your facilities in Illinois. Yep, it is. But you didn't donate 20 acres and a 10,000 square foot building. We will not be moving anywhere else until forward operating base rush is complete. Oop. Wait. See, I hate technology.
Go the other way.
I don't know how to do this garbage.
You got this.
No, I don't. Hold on. I'm coming. We did that one. We did that. We're here. Okay. I'm coming back, guys.
So I said, you got this.
All right. Here it is. Look, folks, see why God will never leave this mission? For with God, nothing is impossible. My faith tells me that. 20 acres with a 10,000 square foot building was donated to this mission. That's how it currently sits on my left. Your right, I don't know if it's mirrored, but and then that's the same side what it will be when you help. Okay, here's the current status. Oh, we talked about this last week. Guess what? It hasn't changed. Why? We need volunteers and funding. We got the land, we got the plan, we got the team. We need you. Our next big thing. Trees. Winter's coming upon us. Everybody's going, so when's the date? When you say you're coming to file brush to help and you're bringing X amount of people, we will schedule a date. We used to go up there the second Saturday of every month, right? Sit there with food and all that for volunteers. And I canceled that due to the return on investment. For the amount of volunteers we were getting and the amount we laid out to feed them, because that's our responsibility, wasn't there. I'll show you guys right now. Where's that camera? There it is. That's just one bill every month. That rolls on to this. What does it cost? When only the best will do for our veterans, for my brothers and sisters, the veterans. This is for Project Die Hard and File Brush. This is the mission as in whole. $982.57 every month for insurance. Yes, people have said, oh, I can get it cheaper. Where were you 3-4 months ago when we were calling out for a new insurance coverer? Utilities, $838.76. That's every month depending on how much the building is used. We invite other organizations to come use it, so that's probably going to go up. And then our fellowship breakfast, on average $500 a month. That's $2,321.33 a month. We seek grants and endowments, but I don't know how many times I have to say this. They are not guaranteed. And I will not pay you money to write our grants because I value everybody that supports us. And if I wanted to take that chance, I'd go across the river to the casino. If a grant or an endowment is not a guarantee, which I know it's not, you can't tell me that it is, and you want me to pay you $5,000 to write grants, charlatan, go away from me. We have 98 more to go of Joshua Danson's of Uniform Strategically Guidelines.org. I think I got that right. We talked about him a couple weeks ago. Well, he threw it out there on his social media. 100 for $22 a monthly patron challenge. We got 98 more to go. He said maybe something special if we reach the end of October. I have no idea what he's talking about, but apparently something special could happen if we reach that number by the end of October. See, folks, teamwork, making the dream work. Sharing is the key to this mission. My people already know it. God has somebody out there who can cut the check. They just haven't heard of us yet. The resident building is $1.1 million. That's the estimate. Will we try and get the best price? Yeah. Will we get things donated? Materials? Yes. But let's look at the back end of this, boys and girls. This facility has to run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So that takes employees. Because I love my volunteers, but they run real lives. That's it. There it is. PDH volunteer. Only the best will do for those we serve. I'm adamant on it. All paid positions start as a volunteer. Real simple. You want diehard money? You have to show us you have a servant's heart and are committed to the mission. Because if you're coming here just to get a paycheck, you are in the wrong place. Because I don't take one. Sue doesn't take one. Kurt doesn't take one. Christy doesn't take one. Ronald doesn't take one. Dave doesn't take one. So if we're all willing to sacrifice our time and energies to this at no pay, you see, you got to show you care. Right there. Teamwork makes the dream work, and together everyone accomplishes more. And that is the week in review. The big blessing, fellowship breakfast covered for the rest of the year.
It is huge. I'm so happy to hear this.
It's great. But Sue, you know what I worry about, right?
All the things.
Well, fellowship breakfast. Praise be to God. All glory to God. For the rest of the year, it's covered. Heavenly Father, who's going to cover 2025? That's my question.
Love to see that all set now. Get next year settled. We've got it in place. That is the big question. Who is going to step into that role and take that on? Because that's an easy one. That doesn't take a whole lot of time. That just takes getting out that checkbook and helping out with that piece.
And then we can take those funds we spend there to work on a residential building.
Exactly. Yeah, we need to move things forward and quickly. There's a lot. There's a lot
Oh, right.
happening.
Well, we're going to be talking about that
Yeah.
later, but I understand we have a guest.
We do have a guest joining us tonight. I'm going to go ahead and bring him on in here. Jason is joining us tonight, a new acquaintance here that I have just had the pleasure of meeting this evening. So, Jason, come on in and tell us a little bit about yourself. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for joining
All
us.
right. Hey, thanks. My name's Jason. Enough said. Just
A man of few words.
got you all. Yeah. Great. Well, my name is Jason, and Jason Krause. I'll even tell you that, sure. And what I do is I am looking to help nonprofits like your guys's come up with fundraising activities that don't involve just straight donations. Providing services, having volunteers provide services to the community in exchange for monetary value and to bolster your guys' participations and so you can see with your hands who your supporters are, see with your eyes, I should say, and get face to face with who your supporters are and what you're doing so you can see the impact that you guys are making. So I partner with businesses that can serve other businesses. Most people have jobs, hopefully, so they do have an inroad into, say, their management structure. So we can work with those businesses on finding them a way to work with us and our partners, as well as just finding those relationships that are mutually beneficial. There's a lot of people out there that care, that want to do great things. I couldn't decide on one single thing to be my organization, so I said, you know what, I'm just going to start helping them all, and if something grabs me, it grabs me, and we're off and running. And so I've been mainly reaching out to businesses and organizations, helping them coordinate fundraisers and activities to so they can move the ball forward on the stuff that they are passionate about. So I'm big on passion fueling. So
yeah. That's I love that. That's perfect.
Yeah. I just couldn't decide. I was like, there's this problem. There's this problem. I was like, everybody needs a little help in certain areas. So I decided to make that my shtick. I decided to make that my game.
Well, that's our teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No one organization can do it all.
No. I mean, for your building project, there's a lot of, like, say, even Habitat for Humanity or other places that have connections to either labor or materials, material recovery, things like that. There's job sites all around every city that I'm like, if I only had a big truck, look at all that lumber, and just throw it away because it's not quote unquote good, but it's not good for their specific purpose for that day, and they got to keep it moving on their damn schedule. So,
brother, I am the same way. I get people all the time. What was it last year? I had to turn down a whole semi full of drywall.
Don't tell me that, man. Yeah, logistics, right?
Now, I have no place to store it.
That's a logistical problem.
Yeah.
Where am I going to store it? Logistics.
Yeah.
It's logistics. Well, you did say 20 acres. I did write that down.
Yeah,
20 storage. Acres. What was your but yeah, so my whole thing is there's stuff absolutely everywhere. You look out the window, you can't help but see it. And so what I try and do is I try and tie opportunity to those who need it. So I can, do good and think of myself as a good lad, I guess. I don't know.
Brother, if that is what God has called you to do, great, do it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I always call out for volunteers. Mm-hmm. Okay. There's tasks out there that my team's not good at. I'm not good at. I know this.
Yeah. There's things that I'm not good at, and I don't even want to touch, like web design. Forget that noise.
Christy Rebel, Blue Dragonfly. There's your web design. That's. Oh, and by the way, she's on my board.
Awesome. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Again, yeah, this is how it works when we all come together. Now, you were talking pre-show something about time. I like that
Yes.
discussion because, as I tell everybody, the war never goes home or goes away when you come home. It
It's
just
true.
never does. So I'll let you highlight on that.
Okay, so yeah, we were talking about the psychology of time, and we all know we kind of all live in on Earth, but other than that, we all live in our heads, and a lot of things we deal with when we live in our head is time, and our relationship with time. So there's essentially three time zones. There's the past, there's the present, and there's the future. Different people base their or have proclivities and base their decisions on one of those time zones. Let's start with the past. People can be basing their decisions on past events that were negative. So they're going to avoid certain things. Some people are past positive. Hey, I like that birthday, so I'm going to go get that birthday cake again. That's my decision for the day. So you have past, and you have past negative, and you have past positive. Now in the present, you have two different time zones as well, time slots as well for them. You have people that decide based on what feels good, present hedonism. I'm going to do what feels good now in the moment, and that's all that matters. We've all met those. We've all met all of these people, and we'll try and maybe pinpoint what we all are here. And then there's present fatalists, where they don't believe that anything they do matter. Future doesn't matter. Nothing I do can change that. And a lot of people do actually live there. Why they won't maybe go get a new job, or maybe they won't talk to that girl or guy or something like that. They just kind of get into this fatalistic rut, and that's a belief. These are all beliefs actually. And then the future-oriented people, they focus on future goals, rewards, or avoiding future pain. So they're just thinking, oh, what's this going to do next week? What's this going to do next month? What's this going to be like next year? They're always just thinking a little bit ahead, right? So you can delay gratification there. You plan carefully, and you work for long-term success or long-term avoidance. Uh, and so, as it turns out, in the psychologist's name is Philip Zimbardo. If you want to look at his book, Zimbardo, Zimbardo, there's an optimal time mix that we have for a healthy psychology and healthy relationship to time. So we want to be high and past positive. When we look into the past, we want to pull up more often than not something positive from that activity of remembering things, right? We want to be low and past negative. Big surprise there, right? We don't want to keep ruminating and dredging up the same thing that puts us in that bad state over and over and over and over and over again. At some point, you've heard the song so many times you're sick of it. So just turn the player off. And you want to be medium in present hedonist. You want to be able to enjoy what you're doing to the point where you keep doing it, but not to the point where it takes over everything you do and you don't think about what the future consequences are, right? And you want to always be low in present fatalist, right? That feeling that you can control your, let's say, destiny, or feeling that, I will feel better if my room is cleaned. And that might bleed into other things that brings into other things that can, I don't want to speak to everyone here, but for me, if I take care of my surroundings, that's checked off. I don't have to think about that anymore, right? That's in the past now, and now I can go into the forward stuff.
I got to interject there.
Go for it.
There's a Navy SEAL that does this speech, motivational speaker, and I love what he says. Get up and make your bed.
Yes, that's an admiral, I think.
Yeah, he's
That's
an
an
admiral.
admiralty suite. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
get up, make your bed.
Start with a win. Why not?
But, hey, it's just that simple.
That uh, that idea is so much deeper because when you can really start checking off things in your mind to the point where your mind will trust you enough that you're going to make that bed, it will stop bugging you about it in the first place, and it literally frees up that space in your mind for other things. You got to fill it with better stuff. You can't just go find more trash. But if you really want to feel, if you really want to feel better and more productive and more alive and more here right now, start taking care of the things that are already in the back of your mind that you know you kind of should do, that you should have done last week, and all this stuff. You start checking those things off, and you won't even notice, or sorry, you won't even uh, uh, the fog that will lift. You didn't even know was there. You were like, "Holy crap! I've been actually carrying that." And that's like, for me, it's like step one. How's your fog? Like, where's your mind at right now? Is it here with me? Is it locked in with this conversation? And you'll have better conversations, which means you'll have a better social life, which means you'll and we're off and running. So you want to be medium in present hedonist. You want to be low in future fatalist. Present fatalist, and you want to be medium high on future oriented. Okay, so that's why having a measurable goal, getting in shape is one of these things that is really interesting because it's got some components of, okay, I got to bring down my present hedonist. I really want that chocolate cake. Oh, oh man, I remember injuring myself in the past. I don't want that. So it's got uh, uh, this nice flow to it. And oh, this is the body I want to earn in the future. Little tiny nugget. Don't say you want to lose weight. No one likes to lose anything. Okay. Say you want to win a body that you want to be proud of, or win a body that can do the things you want it to do. Okay, don't lose, just win, right? And set yourself up that way. So that is something that I've been playing with these last couple months, is trying to find my optimal time mix, bringing down some of my past negative things, uh, and trying to reframe them as I've gotten a lot of teachers. Necessarily didn't give me any grades, but I learned something from those people. I learned what to do. I learned what never ever to do. I learned what roads to go down and what roads to barricade off and let the forest take back over. And so when you're saying in your mission, alcohol and drugs, that's a pretty obvious road for somebody in their own, let's say, present thinking. It's like, oh yeah, of course I'm never gonna do those things. That hurts me intentionally, right? Why would I intentionally hurt myself? But the present hedonist person that just needs relief from that, whatever, they're going to go past, well, alcohol made me feel good before, now it's going to make me feel here. So we can start to reframe this into, uh, this is not a problem for future Jason. This is today's, right now, Jason's problem. I need to put the bottle or the whatever away. Um, and so that has been pretty good as far as transforming um, where I'd like to put my energy. You know,
Well, that right there leads on to, look, what you do on your time off our property is up to you. But on our property, right, there's no drugs, no alcohol allowed. And it's not for the fact of what it causes. It's Jason may not have a problem with it, but I know Brian here is a recovering alcoholic. So the easiest way I know how to say, thou shalt not put your brother into temptation, is don't let it on the property at all.
yeah, having a dry property is a great idea. Alcohol is a natural depressant, but in some people, it gives a burst of dopamine, which is the reward. Big reward, super a lot of calories. Um, and so, I mean, I don't have personal um, a personal struggle with alcohol, but my brother is also an recovering alcoholic, and what he coming back to time, what he has to wrestle with every single day, redevote, redevote, is he's bringing himself back into a future oriented frame of mind instead of a present want the drink now frame of mind. And as you get better, you can actually start catching. This is going to go into maybe some more spiritualistic um, or mentalism type of things. But the better you get at catching yourself, the sooner you can catch yourself from those trails of thought. And sooner or later, your brain's going to realize what it is, which is an efficiency machine. And if it gets no 50 times in a row, it's not going to ask it every single day. It's only going to ask you on the hard days, right? And when you when you have your let's say emergency what is it called? I'm sorry, your sponsor. You have your support systems in place, so when those emergency days do come, you have an out. You can really curtail and handle these things. It's just about keeping constant vigilance at that point. So that's my take from those experiences there. But it's about getting faster at catching. It's weird. I used to have these heart palpitations, and they would just come and go, and I would be like, it's all ever since I was a kid. I was like, oh yeah, my heart's talking to me. How's it going, buddy? Keep beating on or whatever. And once I started learning how to trace my sensate, what's called your sensate experience, what am I feeling? When did I start feeling it? When did that feeling go away? Realize all those feelings are temporary. I can start to find the edge of where that started. No more palpitations. Just it's like walking along. You might be throwing a ball up in the air and you drop it. Well, if you know you're going to drop the ball every once in a while, to just hang on to it and stop throwing the damn thing. So you can get automatic, you can start to get this automatic thing of like, oh, just stop that. Okay. I thought the heart did its own thing and I did my own thing over here and I just kind of lived in my body or whatever. But no, being able to trace your senses and getting back into the present, into your body, that's what
That
the real
is
work is needed.
that is the key to PTSD.
I
Right?
agree.
That is the key because I do it at times, brothers, sisters. My trigger is little babies crying. Why? Because that's a trigger of me. One of my deployments, the suicide bomb decided he wanted to blow us up, but missed and blew up an orphanage. So my trigger was being the medic running into the orphanage trying to save lives and all these kids screaming and crying. That's my trigger.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? My wife still likes to go out to dinner. And there's families and there's kids and there's babies and there's crying.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I have to physically sit there and go, okay, where am I? I'm self-centering. I'm right here in this restaurant at this time. I'm not there.
Yes. Have you ever explored, since you brought up crying, because crying is kind of one of mine too. I'm an uncle like 17 times, not so much as bad uh, as PTSD, but you get that feeling when you hear it. You just like you want to. You're jumping out of your skin. You want to go help. Even if they're not my kids, you're judging the parents. You're like, why are you shaking them like that? Like, come on. Like, obviously that kid is not having a great time. You're pretending that everything's okay. So I really have a soft spot for that. This woman, I can't remember her name, but it was a while back. She was on this talk show, and she identified that babies had different cries for different things. And so, in learning and looking at that, like the na cry, that's like for being hungry because they're simulating, nursing. I was like, oh, when I hear that, I know they got it. They're just going to give it a bottle or a pacifier or whatever. I know that's not a pain, anguish cry. And so being able to parse out those things have assuaged at least a good 80% of, say, that trigger of mine. And so, like you were saying, like we were saying about the sensei experience, being able to trace that resent to yourself, being able to parse the trigger instead of having one particular stimulus, having one slice of one particular stimulus become the,
Mm-hmm.
and so
Again, yeah, look,
be interesting to play with, I would say.
well, it's not interesting to play with me because I've done it. Okay. This is why I'm on this mission of providing these facilities where a veteran can come without the judgment, without
Yeah.
the snide remarks, the this or that,
Mm-hmm.
and they can take the time to go, okay, hey, yeah,
Yeah.
this works.
Yeah. And that's so important because it's being in a public place, let's say a restaurant or anything like that. There's already a social pressure to look and act a certain way. We already have these scripts going. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we know that the waitress is gonna waiter or waitress is gonna ask us if we want water. We know what with the script. We're gonna get a menu. It goes a certain way, and so to see someone in that process, whatever that process is for them, if it's sitting quietly, eyes closed, or it might be activating an anchor that they've put in place, like a snapping of the finger, or
Mm-hmm.
some kind of cue to let them know to get on the right brain path, let's say, and the right thought trail. Um, because nobody, or let's say because most people are blessed not to know that they know that that's needed for some, that would look a little suspicious. That would look a little, okay, I've never seen anybody do that. And that pressure can be debilitating for some. Yeah.
Well, that's just like when I'm talking to groups of people. One of my biggest things is because we got Veterans Day
Mhm.
coming up, right? When you go to a veteran and you see them standing in the line at the convenience store or pumping gas, and you say, "Hey, hi, thanks for your service. How's your day going?" That's a loaded
Yeah.
question.
Yep.
You might be the voice that veteran needs
Yep.
to hear at that particular
Hmm.
moment in time. So then my question is, what are you going to do about it?
I'll do what I always do. I do best. Make people's day better.
But you
Hmm.
see what I'm saying? I make people think, oh, wow, what would I do if that was
Hmm.
the case? I make them think that way. Hey, you have to think about
Yeah.
this stuff.
And I
You
was
know?
surprised at the statistic that you gave at the beginning. Just that I thought there would be actually way more veterans in the general population.
Oh
Like
no,
6.4. That's
nope,
it. That boggles my
that's
mind.
it.
How are we protected as a country? That's like what? It's like nobody. It's 6 in 100. What? That are veterans. It's like, how do we make it through all the conflicts and stuff? It's like that's it's just it's amazing the scale.
Okay, 6.4%.
Hmm.
How about that other
The other
number?
number was surprising as well, I would say. Not just surprising, but tragic,
We
honestly.
make up we make up 57% of every suicide in the nation.
It's insane.
It's hard to wrap our heads around that kind of thing. That's part of why we're here, so that people can understand.
I look, my head doesn't get wrapped around things. You know that's it. Okay, that's going to lead on to this next point of discussion. And Jason, you are allowed to tap in here whenever you want. Just raise your hand when you
Okay,
ask.
two more things about the time perception. Okay,
Oh,
real
real
quick.
quick.
Movies are great for investigating this concept. Uh, it, the first baby movie to about this, it's really easy to identify, is The Christmas Carol. Ebenezer Scrooge changes because he got visited by three ghosts: the past, the present, and the future. All those Christmases, right? And so once you can start seeing it in movies or stories in different characters, Uncle Rico living in the past, if I could have taken state with that football, etc., you'll start to see it in others, then you'll start to see it in yourselves, and then you're off and running, hopefully.
Yeah, it is. Look, folks, we're going to be talking with Jason. You're going to see him more. Okay, he's got some good insights that you all need to hear. And that's part of our mission with those who help us is to bring those to you guys in any way we can. This is just one thing we do this podcast. If you have a message of hope and you want to talk about something that benefits veterans, reach out to us. We'll get you on. That's the easy peasy thing. Okay? And again, our community support programs, resource partners. If you have a program you want to expand nationwide, let's talk. Because I'm willing to give you an office on every facility we are going to build. Wow. You know, teamwork. But this rolls into a little carry on from last week. Folks, I am personally up to 10 brothers and sisters of mine that I've had to say, I am sorry. I apologize. Our facility is not set to the point where we can take you in. Me personally, 10. United States Veteran Reserve Corps, 1st Illinois Battalion, is currently deployed down into the disaster zone. Oh, why didn't I send anybody? Why? I got a resource partner, that's what they do. But talking with their command, because they're in that loop of they work with us, so we all talk together, they have identified another 20 veterans that have lost everything. Their house, their cars, their everything. So that leads to, could that lead to them giving up hope? Could that lead to them running back to the bottle? Or could that lead to them losing the fight with a demon? Folks, chime in. I look. You know me, I can sit here and.
Well, it's amazing that it's not surprising, is it? I mean, that there are obviously a lot of veterans that live in this area that has had the disaster hitting with the hurricane, the damage, oh my gosh, if you haven't seen pictures or video, take a look. Hop online. It's easy to pull things up. We actually were on vacation this summer, literally on the that strip. We walked that road where all these shops are in Chimney Rock near Lake Lure, and I see video now of what it looks like now, and it's gone. Like buildings have washed away that we stood in just 2 months ago. And I think about how many people in that area have been affected. How many of them are veterans? I don't know. I mean, obviously 6.4% of our population is veterans. Well, there's a good number of them in that area that need our help. And I can totally get them looking our direction because that, Project Diehard, we are here to provide hope, to do something. We're not here to just sit back and watch. We're here to do something. For us to do what our mission is, we need to finish this facility. This first facility, Fob Rush, needs to be done, needs to be completed so that we can get all the pieces working and then move on to other locations across our country so that we can provide the help that our veterans need. That's what we're here for. We just aren't quite there yet. And the fact that people have reached out and we're not in a position right now where we can bring them in and do this for them is painful. We need to get things moving. Things are moving, but it never feels like it's fast enough, right? We have so many things that need to happen yet to get to that point. I feel that fire lighting under us to let's go looking to that future. What's it going to take to get the right people in the right place to manage all of this and get it done?
You're right. Always take a volunteer. Always take a volunteer. But I've been shying around these big numbers because everyone said you can't talk about big numbers. Well, you know what? Have I ever been known not to talk about something? No. So it's real simple, folks. We have the architect. We have construction guys. We have electricians. We have plumbers. We got everything lined up to execute. And before you say, why don't they just donate? They have mouths to feed too. Okay, so don't blame them for not doing more because they're doing more than you are. $1.1 million covers the residential building on forward operating base Rush. That is complete rebuild. That is making it what it needs to be. It's that simple. Somebody knows somebody who has that in petty cash.
Spreading that word.
Share the mission. Share the mission. If I had it, it'd be done. We wouldn't be having this discussion.
Looking to that future, we're positive it's there. We know that it's.
Yeah, can you guess where I'm at? I'm that future guy.
Absolutely.
I'm that future guy. I don't worry about the stuff in the past. The past was yesterday. I worry about not tomorrow, but next year. Speak of the devil.
Are you ready to come in here? We're clicking in.
I wouldn't, but
Here he is.
Dun dun dun.
Join the party. How you doing, Kurt?
Doing good. Ready or not, here I come. You guys thought you could hide from me? No way, I'm here.
Hey, it was nice meeting Jason. Kurt, you're not gonna be talking because you're doing what?
Doing what in terms of with the report? You mean that's the reaction you got with the update, or
No. Before the show, in the green room, we were talking. Hey, Jason, who are you? What are you doing? Yeah, I love meeting new people.
So I think I surprised him is what happened.
There you go.
They pulled me out. I was just in the hall somewhere, and they just pulled me out. Hey,
There we go.
What are you thinking about right now? And it just
we're pulling people in from the street now. He was walking around when I talked to him today.
I had to curtail that.
Nothing surprises me. Okay, I was a combat medic for 26 years with multiple combat tours. So if somebody thinks they can surprise me, good luck.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah.
It's just usually when a guest come on, they know everything about what we're doing, how we're doing it, and why we're doing it.
I
That's
got the Cliff Notes. I got the Cliff
yeah.
Notes. Does anybody know everything?
No,
Boom.
and I don't
I'm trying
want
to
to.
save your life, Kurt. I'm trying to save your life.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks. So,
I will protect you, even from yourself.
and we've been talking about a lot of the things that I bring to the table outside of Project Die Hard, and we're masterminding how we're going to put it all together to swing it back into getting all
Again,
the resources
guys,
for the veterans.
this is what Kurt does for the mission. Join his team. He needs help. Kurt at projectdiehard.org. Join his team. Help him do more. Okay? Because Kurt's really good at, hey, Jason. Hey, I'm an ambassador of Project Die Hard. But I asked him to do a lot of things. So Kurt needs all the help he can get to set up little meetings with Jason and say, hey, before you get on the podcast, here's everything we're doing and why we're doing it.
Yeah, the thing I told Jason is I'm like, Jason, if we're going to do this, you have to update your will. So he was agreeable. So
Yeah, there you go.
we're ready to go.
Okay, so now
That's
for
future stuff, right?
part two of that lead-on discussion. Do we have another hurricane heading to Florida? Yes. So, last update, it was a Category 5. So, how many veterans do you think are going to call Project Die Hard next week?
It's a great question. I mean, it's a mixed bag. I want them to call. They're hearing about us, they're reaching out. That's what we're here for. However, what we can physically do right now is still limited because we are still in the building phase, right?
Oh, look. Yes, got it. We have resource partners. Did these veterans get help? Yes.
Yep.
Friday, I spent all day with a resource partner out in Oklahoma sending supplies down there, truckloads, 12 truckloads.
Wow.
They reached out. Hey, Doc, we got all this stuff, but we don't know who to send it to. Well, just by chance, our chaplain is down there, and the commander of one of our resource partners is down there. So guess what I did?
Connected the dots. That's awesome.
Again, folks, don't think because you don't see big things that we're not doing big things. That goes to golden rule number 2. I've seen it now. You're not seeing pictures of devastation on our social media, are you?
Mm-hmm.
No. If you go down there just to do a TikTok and say, "Ooh, look what I do," shame on you. Shame on you. I'm just putting it out there because people say, how come you don't have a lot of videos and pictures of your volunteer days at the FOB? Because I'm with the volunteers working. I If you want to see what we're doing, come join us. Come join us. Oh, the fellowship breakfast. Come join us. See what we're doing.
Actually, take that moment. Remind everybody when that is.
The first Wednesday of every month. From 0700 to 9:30 at the IHOP in Paducah, Kentucky. Be in prayer for that fellowship breakfast because everybody says, why is it not at every IHOP? I'm just saying be in prayer because somebody somewhere shared this mission and now we are talking to corporate IHOP.
Awesome.
Epic.
Yeah, Kurt, you don't get that one. That's mine.
Well done, Grasshopper.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, man.
That's awesome. I'm excited to hear more.
So there's nothing more right now.
Yet.
That,
That's future. I want to hear near future.
that is a contact, being a contact. And they saw a podcast where I did a rant on why we're not in every IHOP in the nation. And now a representative of one of our sister charities is talking to them about our fellowship breakfast. That's all I know.
I will stay tuned. I like it. I'm waiting for that to be a piece in an upcoming Mission Monday update.
Yeah, I'm thinking with all this eye hopping around, the Easter Bunny's going to show up somewhere. We'll get Santa Claus, that competitor, before we're done. Here we go.
Well, we always close every Monday night with a message of hope for our veterans. So I do want to make sure we have a moment here. We can go around the room and do just that. So for this evening, I think I'm going to throw it over to you, Brian, to get us started on that.
Oh, why do I got to go first?
I'm pitching on you.
We're only hoping you go first.
Yeah.
For your message of hope.
Look, I'm going to tell you like I tell you every week. Brothers and sisters, don't give up. Don't. It's not worth it. The decision you're going to make today to say, screw it, I give up, isn't just going to hurt you. Because it's not. You're not going to be with us. It's going to hurt everybody who cares about you. Everybody that loves you. There is hope. Trust me, I know personally. You can survive this. Just don't give up.
Awesome. Thank you, Brian, for the message and for all you do. Jason, I'm going to go ahead and bring you on in here to share a message of hope for our veterans.
Awesome. Oh, I thought I'd have more time to think because I didn't know this is how you closed. So
I'm
that's
sorry.
Throwing
it on you.
If I was to say like one thing, I would say pick what you focus on very carefully. And I would focus on service. Service to another. It can look like I unloaded the dishwasher and no one told me to. I don't care what it is. Do it with the heart of service and focus on that one step at a time with every task that you do. You will find peace.
Excellent. Thank you so much for being with us tonight, Jason. It's been wonderful having you here.
Thank you very much.
And Kurt, passing it to you.
Well, I'm going to bring this forward in the idea of something called Momentum Hill. Decades ago, in other parts of my life, for other reasons, and you know, other insights to life, it was shared to me the concept of Momentum Hill. And as I'm on this journey and learning from Brian and others who have had this lived experience for what we're talking about today, and I learned through all of you, I see that it seems to me to be a momentum hill. And what that means is that these leaders talk about when you are working with other people to understand where you're going and that you're welcoming them to go where you're going, it's like what's on the other side of the mountain that you're going to climb. But when you're with the other people and they have never seen the other side, they don't understand the other side, and they're just going on the hope and the faith and your words and everything you're putting into it because you're describing them what's on the other side. To me, that's what this is like, because the thing of momentum hill is that it gets that way all the way up the front side of the mountain. But then once people can peer over and see what's on the other side of the mountain, now you're all downhill. And now you're going to be going at a fast pace. And what happens is that person who tells the initial idea of what's on the other side of the mountain, they end up being the laggers because they've been in that place before and they've expected it, and they're there to do it with you. So that's my message. I'm here to do it with you. Now, I'm going off of what Brian's sharing is all about, but hearing what Brian is telling us is on the other side of the mountain. This whole idea of spreading hope. I'm in it. I'm in it with you. Back to you, Sue.
Excellent. Thank you. What an amazing group we have here tonight. Thank you all for being here. My little piece that I'm going to share as we're closing up, I know we all get into, or we can get into that illusion of everybody else's life is perfect. If you look on Facebook, you look at people have, you see the best of what other people have going on in those snapshots and in those little moments, but we all have good days. We all have bad days. We all have stuff we're dealing with, and that's okay. That's expected. There's no guarantee that somebody said life's going to be easy. That it's ups, it's downs, and it's all those things together that make it worth it, to make it interesting, to make the fun more fun, to make all those things. So look forward to that next thing. What is that next thing you're going to do? Is it unloading the dishwasher with that heart of service? Is it going for a walk? Is it I'm going to see my friend tomorrow? Is it that veterans breakfast that I'm going to attend on the first Wednesday of the month next month in Paducah, Kentucky? What is it for you? Find whatever that is, big, little, whatever it is, and look forward to that and enjoy that. So for all of us here at Project Die Hard, we are so glad to have all of those around us that we have, and we look for you to join us. Whoever you are listening right now, join us, reach out, volunteer at projectdiehard.org. What can we do together? Because together we all can do more. So again, we are here every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. to find out all the latest and greatest of what's going on all around us here with Project Die Hard. We sincerely, from the bottom of our hearts,